7 years after the night that changed everything, Emily Thompson stood on the mat of Maya Martial Arts in Chelsea, watching her daughter lead a tiny army of 5- and 6-year-olds through basic stances. Maya's dark hair was pulled into a fierce ponytail, her little fists tight, her voice surprisingly authoritative for someone who still needed a step stool to reach the highest paths. Feet shoulder width, knees soft, eyes forward. Maya commanded, mimicking her mother's exact tone. The kids giggled, but they listened. They always did. Emily smiled from the side, arms crossed over her black instructor GI. The studio had grown beyond her wildest dreams, 3 full-time instructors, all women, all survivors in their own right, a waiting list 6 months long, corporate partnerships with law firms and tech companies wanting empowerment workshops, and a scholarship fund that had trained over 200 women for free. National magazines had called it the most important dojo in New York. Emily had politely declined most interviews. The work spoke for itself. But today, something felt off. A low hum in her gut, the same instinct that used to warn her of an opponent's feint in the ring. After class, as parents collected sweaty, beaming children, Emily's phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Emily. It's Linda. We need to talk. Mark is dying." The world tilted for half a second, not from fear, but from the sheer absurdity. Linda. The woman who'd called her trash over Thanksgiving stuffing. The woman whose texts had been Exhibit Z in the divorce. Emily stared at the screen. Maya tugged her sleeve. "Mommy, can we get ice cream? I taught Tommy the arm drag today." Emily forced a smile. "Sure, warrior. Let's go." That night, after Maya was asleep with her stuffed lion, named Takedown, Emily sat on the balcony overlooking the now familiar Central Park view. She hadn't spoken to Linda in 8 years. Mark had vanished after that final door-closing moment. Rumor had it he'd moved to Florida, remarried some real estate agent, lost most of his Wall Street shine after the scandal whispers refused to die. She dialed the number. Linda answered on the first ring. Voice thinner than Emily remembered. "Emily. What do you want, Linda?" A long pause. "Mark has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. 6 months, maybe less. He's asking for you. And for Maya." Emily's laugh was quiet, humorless. "He doesn't get to ask for anything. He's changed, Emily. The last few years, he's been different. Regretful. He talks about you constantly. About what he did. Regret doesn't erase bruises. Or lies. Or the way he looked at our daughter like an inconvenience." Linda's voice cracked. "I know I was cruel. I was wrong. About everything. But he's my son, Emily. And Maya is his daughter. He just wants to see her once. Before." Emily ended the call without another word. She didn't sleep that night. The next few weeks brought more texts, more voicemails. Mark's voice on one, weak, raspy, "Emily. I don't deserve forgiveness. I know that. I want to tell Maya I'm sorry. In person. Please." Emily blocked the number. But Maya, perceptive as always, noticed the change. "Mommy, why do you look sad when you check your phone?" Emily pulled her close. "Sometimes old friends remind us of hard times, baby. But we're okay now." Then came the lawyer's letter. Mark's estate planning attorney, formal letterhead. A trust fund proposal for Maya, $2.5 million, to be managed until she was 25, no strings except one. Mark wanted a single supervised visit. Emily's first instinct was to shred it. But Alexandra Chen, still her attorney, now a friend, advised caution. "He's trying to buy absolution," Alexandra said over coffee. "But legally, it's clean. And Maya, she's starting to ask questions about her father. Kids do that around this age." Emily stared into her latte. "I don't want his money. Or his guilt. You don't have to take it. But think about Maya. Not him. Her." For days, Emily wrestled with it. She walked Central Park at dawn, the same paths she'd paced during pregnancy. She trained harder than she had in years, rolling with her senior black belts until her body ached, reminding herself she was still unbreakable. Finally, she agreed. One visit. Supervised. At a neutral location. No cameras. No apologies expected. Just closure. The meeting happened in a private room at a midtown hotel. Mark arrived in a wheelchair, thinner than Emily remembered, skin gray, eyes sunken but clear. Linda pushed him in, looking older than her years. Maya sat between Emily and Clara, who'd flown in for moral support. The 7-year-old stared curiously at the stranger who shared her eye color. "Hi," Mark whispered. Voice barely there. "I'm your dad." Maya tilted her head. "Mommy says you made bad choices." Mark's eyes filled. "I did. A lot of them. I hurt your mommy very badly. And I missed everything about you." Maya looked at Emily. Emily nodded, permission to speak. "I don't hate you," Maya said simply. "But I don't know you. Mommy's my family. And Grandma Clara. And my dojo friends." Mark swallowed. "I know. I just wanted you to know. I'm proud of you. Even from far away. And I'm sorry." Silence stretched. Then Maya stood, walked over, and patted his hand gently. "It's okay to be sorry. Mommy says sorry fixes things sometimes." Mark wept openly. Emily felt nothing but calm. No rage. No pity. Just, done. When it was over, Mark looked at Emily. "Thank you. For letting me see her." Emily met his eyes. "This is goodbye, Mark. For good." He nodded. Linda whispered, "Emily, the trust fund. Keep it," Emily said. "Put it in Maya's name. But she'll earn her own way. Like I did." They left. Maya held Emily's hand tight in the elevator. "Mommy, was that hard?" Emily kissed her forehead. "Not as hard as I thought. Because I'm not that scared girl anymore." Chapter 3, New Opponents, New Allies, Years 9 to 11. Life didn't stop. The dojo expanded, a second location in Brooklyn, a third in Queens. Emily started an online program, Lotus Rising, teaching self-defense fundamentals to women worldwide. Thousands enrolled. Donations poured in. But success brought shadows. A national true crime podcast reached out, The Quiet Warrior, the night a housewife took down her cheating husband. They wanted an interview. Emily declined. Then came the book offers. Publishers smelling a bestseller, From Victim to Victor, My MMA Redemption. Emily said no again. Until one offer came with a twist, co-write with a survivor from her shelter classes. Proceeds split, focus on empowerment, not sensationalism. She agreed. The book, Peace Through Strength, became a quiet phenomenon. Not explosive like revenge porn stories, but steady. Women wrote letters, "Your story gave me the courage to leave. I started training because of you." Then came the real test. Sarah Harrington reappeared. Not in person. Through an article in a Boston Business Journal, Sarah Harrington launches Women's Leadership Initiative, From Scandal to Second Act. Emily read it in disbelief. Sarah, now 38, had pivoted to motivational speaking, focusing on overcoming toxic masculinity in corporate America. Photos showed her polished, smiling, no trace of the woman who'd sprawled on Emily's rug. Comments online were brutal. Didn't she sleep with a married man and get wrecked by his pregnant wife? Karma's delayed, not denied. Emily closed the tab. She had no interest in public shaming. But Sarah emailed. Subject, I owe you more than words. Emily opened it against her better judgment. Emily. I've spent years running from what I did. I convinced myself I was the victim of circumstance, ambition, a man who promised the world. But I was complicit. I chose cruelty. I chose to believe you were nothing so I could feel like something. I'm not asking forgiveness. I know I don't deserve it. I'm just trying to be better. My program helps women reclaim power after betrayal. Every time I speak, I think of you. You're the reason I know redemption is possible, even if mine is incomplete. If you ever want to talk, I'm here. If not, I understand. Sarah. Emily stared at the screen for a long time. Then deleted it. Some bridges burn for a reason. Maya turned 11 with a surprise, an invitation to compete in a junior grappling tournament. Not full MMA, ground game only, age-appropriate rules. Emily hesitated. You sure, baby? It's not just fun. It's pressure. Maya grinned. I want to be like you, mommy. Strong. Controlled. Emily signed her up. Training intensified. Maya had natural talent, quick hips, fearless guard passes. But Emily drilled mindset most of all. Win or lose, you stay calm. You respect your opponent. That's real strength. The tournament day arrived. Packed gym in Long Island. Maya's first match, against a girl 2 inches taller. Emily cornered her. Breathe. Center. Protect your head and heart. Maya won by decision. Then submission in the second. Then dominated the finals. After the medal ceremony, Maya ran to Emily, gold around her neck. I did it. Like you used to. Emily hugged her tight. You did better. Because you're doing it with joy. Not to prove anything. That night, back home, Maya asked the question Emily had dreaded. Mommy, do you ever miss fighting? Like, real fighting? Emily thought about the roar of crowds, the sting of gloves, the moment of victory. Sometimes, she admitted. But I don't miss who I had to become to win. I like who I am now more. Maya nodded wisely. Me too. 15 years after that fateful Sunday. Maya Martial Arts had 5 locations, a foundation funding training for abused women nationwide, and a Netflix documentary in pre-production. Emily reluctantly agreed, with final cut approval. Emily, now 42, still rolled with the pros, slower, wiser, but dangerous when needed. She never competed again. She didn't need to. Mark passed 2 years after the visit. Quietly. No drama. Maya kept the medal he'd sent posthumously, a small bronze from his college wrestling days. She displayed it beside her own. Sarah's program quietly folded after sponsors pulled out. Emily never commented. Clara moved to New York permanently, spoiling Maya rotten and teaching her Texas barbecue. Master Rodriguez passed at 87. Emily flew to Texas for the funeral. She bowed at his grave. You were right. Strength isn't just winning fights. On Maya's 14th birthday, Emily gave her the greatest gift, a black belt. Earned. Deserved. They stood on the balcony together, city lights sparkling. Maya asked, "What's next for you, Mom?" Emily smiled. More of this. Teaching. Loving. Living. And maybe, one day, watching you change the world. Maya leaned against her. We'll do it together. Emily kissed her daughter's forehead. The warrior had found peace. Not because the battles ended. But because she chose which ones were worth fighting. And won them all, quietly, fiercely, forever. January 9, 2026. Snow fell softly over Central Park as Emily Thompson, now 43, stood in the warm glow of Maya Martial Arts' flagship Chelsea studio. The place hummed with morning energy, women flowing through BJJ drills, young girls practicing Krav Maga escapes, and a new class of corporate executives learning de-escalation techniques blended with Muay Thai strikes. The walls bore framed articles, From Victim to Visionary, Emily Thompson's Empire of Empowerment, and a growing wall of student success stories. Maya, now 15, tall and confident with the same fierce eyes her mother once hid, finished leading the teen class. She wiped sweat from her brow and grinned at Emily. "Mom, Coach Rodriguez's old email protocol still works. These girls are rolling like pros already." Emily nodded, pride swelling. But her phone buzzed, an unknown number with a Texas area code. She answered cautiously. "Emily. This is Mia. Mia from the old circuit. Remember me? The one from Miami who called you Texas trash online." Emily's breath caught. Mia, the rival who turned respect after their brutal Florida fight. They hadn't spoken in over 15 years. "Mia, what's going on?" "I'm in New York for the NWMAF conference next month. Empowerment Self-Defense Alliance is hosting a big multi-style event. They're honoring pioneers. They want you as keynote. And, they asked if you'd consider a comeback exhibition match. Nothing full contact. Just a demonstration roll with me. For the women. To show what real power looks like after life tries to break you." Emily laughed softly. "I'm not coming back, Mia. I teach now. I don't perform. Think about it. The scene has changed. Women's MMA is exploding, Valentina Shevchenko still dominating flyweight, Kayla Harrison moving up, new names like Erin Blanchfield and Manon Fiorot headlining. But the real fight? It's on the mats, in the streets, in boardrooms. You're the symbol now. The one who walked away, built something bigger, and never lost her edge." Emily glanced at Maya, who was watching curiously. "I'll think about it." She hung up. The seed was planted. The National Women's Martial Arts Federation, NWMAF, conference at a large venue in Midtown Manhattan drew hundreds, instructors, survivors, allies from across the spectrum, women, trans, non-binary practitioners, all united under the banner of empowerment. Emily arrived with Maya and Clara. The energy was electric. Panels on holistic wellness integration, VR sparring innovations, and the rise of inclusive programs. Workshops blended Gracie women-empowered techniques with modern ESD, empowerment self-defense, modules, assertiveness, boundary setting, verbal de-escalation before physical. Mia found her backstage. Older, but still sharp. "You came. For the message. Not the spotlight." The keynote slot arrived. Emily stepped on stage, GI crisp, no makeup, hair in a simple braid. The room hushed. She spoke for 40 minutes. Not about revenge. About remembrance. "I spent years hiding my power because I feared it made me a monster. I married a man who saw my gentleness as weakness. I let others define me until they threatened my child. That day in my apartment, I didn't explode. I remembered. And remembering saved us both, my daughter and me." She paused, eyes scanning the crowd. Today, in 2026, we're seeing programs everywhere, Gracie Barra expanding women's classes, peace over violence modules in schools, ESD alliances growing. But the core remains, empowerment isn't just techniques. It's knowing you are enough. Before anyone else tells you otherwise. The applause was thunderous. Afterward, Mia pulled her aside. "The exhibition? Tomorrow. Just us. Light roll, no submissions past guard, all technique. To show the next generation." Emily looked at Maya, who nodded eagerly. "Do it, Mom. Show them." The exhibition mat was simple. No cage. Just two women who once hated each other, now respecting the journey. Mia and Emily bowed. The crowd, over 800 strong, watched in reverent silence. They circled. Mia shot first, a low single. Emily sprawled, countered with a whizzer, spun to the back. Muscle memory flawless. But she didn't finish. She transitioned to mount, then let Mia sweep. They rolled for 15 minutes. Technique after technique, arm drags, guard passes, escapes from bad positions. No ego. Just flow. At the end, both stood, breathing hard, smiling. They hugged. Mia whispered, "You never lost it." Emily replied, "I just chose when to use it." The crowd erupted. Maya rushed the mat, hugging her mother. Videos went viral overnight. The quiet warrior returns, not to fight, but to teach. The exhibition sparked something bigger. Invitations poured in, podcasts, TEDx-style talks, collaborations with emerging programs. Emily expanded Maya martial arts aggressively. A fourth location in Brooklyn focused on teen girls and non-binary youth. A fifth in Queens integrated VR-assisted drills for situational awareness, a 2025 to 2026 trend blending tech with real-world training. She partnered with the Empowerment Self-Defense Alliance, launching a Lotus Legacy certification program. Instructors trained in her hybrid curriculum, 40% BJJ, 30% Krav Maga, 20% verbal/psychological tools, 10% mindfulness. Maya thrived. At 15, she won a regional junior grappling title, then turned down bigger tournaments. "I don't need belts to know I'm strong," she told Emily. Instead, she started mentoring younger kids at the studio. Clara, now in her late 60s, ran the Texas-themed Nutrition Corner, healthy comfort food after classes. "My baby's feeding an army now," she'd say proudly. One crisp October afternoon, a letter arrived, handwritten, postmarked Boston. Sarah Harrington. Emily opened it on the balcony. "Emily. I saw the conference footage. You looked free. Truly free. I've spent years rebuilding. My program failed, but I'm working quietly now, volunteering with local shelters, teaching basic awareness classes. No spotlight. Just service. I'm not asking for anything. Just wanted you to know, you were right. I thought taking from you would fill what was missing in me. It didn't. Thank you for showing what real power looks like. Sarah." Emily read it twice. Then, for the first time, she felt a small crack of compassion, not forgiveness, but understanding. She wrote back one line. "Keep going. The work matters more than the past." She mailed it. Closed the chapter. Forever. Chapter 6, Maya's Moment, 2027. Maya is 16. Maya turned 16 with a vision, a national youth summit for empowerment through martial arts. With Emily's guidance, she organized it, 300 teens from across the country. Panels on mental health and training, inclusivity in dojos, and the intersection of self-defense and social justice. Maya keynote, "My mom taught me that strength isn't about hurting others. It's about protecting what matters, your peace, your people, your future. And sometimes, the greatest fight is the one you choose not to start." The summit went viral. Sponsors came, major athleisure brands, tech companies developing safety apps. By 2028, Maya Martial Arts had 7 locations, an online academy with 50,000 students worldwide, and a foundation funding scholarships in Clara's name. Emily, now occasionally rolling with pros for fun, never competed again. She didn't need to. One evening, Master Rodriguez's successor, a young woman he'd mentored, visited from Texas. She brought a gift, his old belt, now framed. Emily hung it beside her own medals. Maya asked, "Mom, do you ever wonder what if? What if you never quit the circuit?" Emily smiled. "Every day. And every day I'm glad I did. Because the roar of the crowd is nothing compared to the quiet strength in a woman's eyes when she finally believes in herself." They watched the city lights. Mother and daughter. Warrior and legacy. The lotus had bloomed fully. Not in vengeance. Not in glory. But in quiet, unbreakable truth. By 2030, Emily Thompson was a name synonymous with transformation. Maya, now in college studying psychology and kinesiology, took over daily operations. The studios continued expanding, franchising carefully, never losing the heart. Emily traveled, speaking at conferences, training instructors. She wrote a second book, The Lotus Legacy, Raising Warriors of Peace. And on quiet mornings, she'd walk Central Park, remembering the woman in the red dress, the pregnant fighter who chose peace until peace was no longer safe. She never regretted remembering who she was. Because in remembering, she didn't just save herself. She saved hundreds. Thousands. And the next generation would save even more. Emily ki kahani yahan kadam nahi hodi, ya apki shuruat hai. Ek orat ni apni kamzori ko takat main badal dia, apni bak kuli eladai ki, or hazaran mahilan ko apni awaz di. Agar ye journey apko chua, to yad rako, aapb warrior ho. Bas yad rakni ki zerarat hai. Agar apko ye story pasandayi, to like carrion, apni dostan ko soft share carrion, or channel ko subscribe Carline taki ace high inspiring kahanian aap tak pahunkti rahim. Comment main bateo, apki zindagi main kab apni andar ki taka ko jaga. Flex bicep sparkles.